I was asked the question on how to feel good today, how to feel good in this world, how to emotionally be okay. And that's a difficult one right there. It is so difficult. I want to provide my own thoughts on it based on what I'm learning from the interpretation of the material from antiquity. What is nirvana? My name is Dan Paulson. When I was a kid, I thought, if you find nirvana, this inner happiness, I see a picture of the happy Buddha smiling, that you just always smile, you're always happy. Somehow in your head you think that, but that can't happen. It cannot be. Emotions are what drive humans. Let me actually take a look at what he posted here, his comment. Stefan, thanks. Would it be correct to say, if there is a situation in the environment or any situation where a person witnesses that situation and considers it bad or disgusting, the person should find a way to perceptually change the view of that situation, and in that way remain outside or above it, and in that way remain emotionally and psychologically free without being tied to a certain situation? Also use this approach and relate it to cleaning and healing the past and traumas and beliefs that do not serve us in life. It seems like this is a call for one concrete video on this topic. Yep, it sure is. Okay, so the question is this. For enlightenment, are we supposed to, for emotional states, be able to view something that's disgusting or horrific and be able to not be emotionally connected to it? That's not possible. No. If you could do that, you might also have body parts in your freezer or something like that from multiple victims. I don't think okay, now I want to talk about something here first. This is so important. People just don't get this part. Brain types, the called person. You're going to have high empathy, high connection to the environment, and you can't disconnect from it. You are going to be so emotionally invested in the environment, you can't disconnect from it. And that's going to be a personality thing. That's an introverted quality right there. The NF, the sensing, the feeling, I can sense my environment in a way that most people can't. And that's just, it's there. It's evolutionarily there. We're not the same. We're not the same. You cannot look at something and say, well, that's horrific. I need to look at it in such a way that it doesn't affect me in a derogatory way. It won't work like that. Jesus says it's the fastest to the world, but let's stop and think about something for a second. He said that 2,000 years ago. What did he know? What's happening in the local area? We know Jesus is a monomyth character. The teaching is this, though, really, to stop looking at stuff. The world is going, and it's happening. Right here in this moment in the world somewhere, there are people being raped, murdered, molested, burned at the stake as witches. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the world that if you knew it, you'd be like, oh my. Meanwhile, out there, what? We get exposed to so much stuff that would have blown their minds. They would have said, how the hell can you guys you've lost it. You've lost it. This media, all this stuff you got going on, holy smokes. We're fasting as to the world, and we see 5 things in the local environment that have got us bothered. You guys see 1 trillion things worldwide, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it, and it's going to mess up your head. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to mess up your head because you can't disconnect from it. You have to fast as to the world. Stop looking at it. You can't change it. You can either get emotionally destroyed by it, or you can disconnect from it, but you can't change it. You have to know that. You have to look away. If there's something locally happening and you can get involved, stop hurting that. Yeah, that's fine. But as far as sitting and looking at media and watching this and watching that and those people and all it's just existential stuff that doesn't need to go into the brain it'll just frazzle the hell out of us. And it does. So really, in a nutshell here for that, I think that we're emotionally driven. We don't think so. We get so intellectually involved in life when everything is okay and we're not in fear. And when you're in joy, you don't stop and ask why. You run from fear. And when fear isn't haunting you, well, we got all kinds of time to go all over the place. And we invent stuff and we invent things that aren't there. Everybody evolves to think that they're correct. Most people are not. Everybody's going to try things. If everybody did the same thing, we wouldn't evolve. People are, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, all kinds of different things. We got evolution over the top now, though, and things are not centered anymore. On the left, people are born gay. I'm completely okay with that. To say, well, These gay people can't decide whether or not they're actually male or female. So the whole bathroom thing, just go ahead and, there's a point where you go, no. If you're born gay, you're born gay. That doesn't mean I'm a woman inside of a man's body or a man inside of a woman's body or something like that. It means you're gay. It means that you have been born, that means you're born as a male or a female that has a propensity to desire the same sex. That's all that means right there. That should not mean you all use the same bathroom. Okay, what does that cause? It causes the right to do things that are so extreme that everybody loses their rights. Fuck all of you. Yeah, things just swing back and forth in this world of people that are tribal. Like, we're somewhere in the middle going, God, what the hell? It's going to go the way it's going to go, and guess what? There's nothing you can do to stop it. How do you want to live life? How do you want to feel? What is life? What's the purpose of life? The purpose of life is what you decide it is, if you ever decide it is. I think that, for me, that's how I feel about it. That if I look at the purpose of life, I decide that's up to me. But life is difficult early on. You're so caught up in things. You're so busy. You don't have time to think about this stuff. It's hard to get wrapped up in it. And you know what? If you start out in life, you might be happy, you might be sad as kids. There's things we want. We're always going to be swinging emotionally. There's no possible way to always feel happy. You can only know what happiness is if you know what unhappiness is. Everything is in a balance. And if you do something that makes you, if you feel uplifted because I had a burden and I've done this healing now, and oh my gosh, I feel uplifted by it. That uplifted feeling becomes normal. You might feel uplifted for many days because you've unburdened yourself from that, but that's going to become normal. You're still going to want to find a place that you're going to want that to become barometrically a new point, because now you're going to have fear and joy from a new place. That's why people keep wanting more and more and more. It's like, oh, that was happy, but the happiness is gone. I need more. I need more. I need more. They get addicted to that. So we get caught up in that because it's normal evolutionary stuff. And us, as far as having, we have all of their qualities, many of the physical qualities. We're introverts and want to stay out of the group, but we still have sex drive. We still have, we still want to eat. We still want to eat more. We have all of the normal human qualities. But on top of that, we're also the person that is burdened now with knowing more, seeing more, sensing more. You're outside the group, keeping an eye on that group. You have to feel more. You have to be more sensitive to the environment. The more sensitive you are to the environment, the better it is to help you protect that group, because we're being stalked. It's always out there. Life emerging like that is going to be eat animals. Animals are trying to eat you. And now life is not like that. But those are very core drives that are still pushing things along, except that analytically we've got ourselves where we don't understand that. Okay, what else was the other one there? Also use this approach and relate it to cleaning and clearing the past traumas and beliefs that do not serve us in life. So here's what we have to do, as I see it now in a nutshell in the material. Number one is not just not look at that stuff, because we already know things and we're carrying our traumas with us, but to get mentally to where you're sitting with that higher awareness. At first it's difficult, and the more stuff you have that prevents it, the more difficult it is to get there. So we have to continually function in our own minds at realizing we're caught up in the memories. Stop. Get to the higher awareness. Stop living through the memories. They're memories. They're things. We're taking thoughts of what we will wear tomorrow. Garments. What do we cover ourselves with? Spiritually, we're fearful. We have all these shames, all these things. We're caught up in the physical life when we should be. Oh, I'm not those memories. That's a product of my life experiences right there. But I am above that. I need to know that and learn that, and then learn to let go of that stuff. They're all anchors preventing me from elevating. So as far as healing, then, it's a personal thing. It's always observing your own relationships and what's going on in the world. If you're by yourself, you may not get triggered. It depends on what's there. If you're in relationships and something continues to be a problem between the two. I've run into this in my life. It's like we have this clash. We've got something we've got to work out between the two of us because it continually comes up. And the other person, as you're ready to do that, the other person might, and so what do? You say, okay, I'm going to do my part. Here's what I'm bringing to the table from my unresolved past that's causing me to trigger, and I want to heal this. And the other person, you're expecting them to tell, I mean, they fit there too. You're both fitting together. It's not like one of you has the problem and the other one isn't. You're fitting together. This is a cohabitation. This triggering is happening because we belong together for that triggering to happen. So you admit to yours, and the other person goes, yeah, it's your fault. Thanks for admitting it. And you're like, what about your part? I'm not doing anything. It's you. So you're stuck in this, okay, I'm growing and the other person isn't. What the hell am I going to do? It can be very problematic and frustrating in cases like that. Other thing, it really depends on what it is. It may not be relationship driven. It's something else. Each person has to look in their own mind and say, what is it that frazzles me? When I wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, and I can't get back to sleep, and that higher awareness is talking to me, what is the memory that I'm getting sucked back into? That right there is the biggest problem. That right there, it's letting you know, hey, here's my problem. This is probably a normal evolutionary thing too. If people have been outdoors, or even if you just drive in wilderness areas for a lifetime, you'll notice things like all the deer are out at early in the morning or late in the evening. They're midday and nighttime they're down, midday they're hiding. If you're for millions of years evolving and you're hungry and you're always looking for food, there's no stores, you got to eat every day. You have to hunt every damn day, unless you got a big carcass there. Then you have to, do something. You can't eat it every day. At some point, you're going to get sick from eating it. So, but by and large, you're going to have to eat every day. What's the best time to get those animals? They're moving. They have paths that they move along down to the water and back. You get up and you get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. That's the biggest concern. I need to eat. We're going to die. We're going to get up at 3 in the morning and we're going to, set up some kind of traps or hunting or something. That's when we know the animals are active, and we're going to set up blinds over their watering areas and things like that. So it's normal for us to get up and be worried at that time of day because that's how we survive. That's my theory. That mechanism is still in place, except that now we don't have to. What's it doing? We're not having to. I got food, so it's still working. But what am I doing now? It's the next thing that bothers me. It's the next biggest thing that bothers me that is still there. So we have to resolve that. In the same way you'd have to get up and get food, you have to look at that and go, this is the thing that wakes me up and it continually frazzles me. That's the biggest thing right there. It's letting you know. You resolve that. If you can. It might be something, this is ongoing at my work location that I have to go to again tomorrow. I've run into those situations where it's like, God, how do I escape this? You're trying to resolve something in a group of people that see you a certain way and will always hold you a certain way when you're trying to change. It's very difficult to do this while you're, in the world of people. It can be tough. I know that. And my best success came after I retired. And that's because I could just finally let go of things. And there's still times I remember things that happened that were conflict at work that I'll think of and go, God, I remember this. And I go, oh, there's a memory right there that's not resolved because I'm angry about it. So I stop and look at it. Okay, here's what happened. What happens is we have an experience at that moment and we judge it. Later on, you might be, okay, I'm past that. I don't believe that anymore. Then why does this memory still come up? Because it didn't get absolved. You have to go back and look at it and go, oh, I'm going to update this memory right here. It's an unresolved, it's like a little program that's put in place that doesn't get adjusted until you go back and look at it and go, oops, you were wrong. I judged you incorrectly. That's what all of this material is about, judging things. However, we get involved in it physically too. People hurt you. You hurt other people. Things like that happen, and we have to understand where we're coming from. As the easiest way to explain all that stuff is that we're evolutionary creatures living in a society trying to give everybody an equal opportunity and equal chance, when in all reality, we didn't evolve with everybody getting equal opportunity and equal chance. If you didn't fit with survival, you didn't survive. Today, survival is easy, so variation goes all over the place. And that is, well, it's normal. Anyway, what am I getting at here? As far as the healing thing, Yeah, we have to be able to observe the memories that we have. You're right. I see what you're saying. You can't look at life and say, oh, that's those kids being beaten and whipped and molested. I'm going to find a way to be okay with that. We can't do that ever, ever, ever. It's happening. What we have to do is if you can't do anything to resolve it, don't look at it. Sorry. That's it. Sitting there going, son of a bitch, I hate that, doesn't do any good. Nothing at all. All it does is create your purpose in life, which sucks, but that's the way it works. We don't want people to be hurt, but there's nothing we can do to stop it. So then you get hurt by being aware of it. It's kind of a vicious cycle. You have to pull back and go, I care about everything, and I know what's going on. And there's not a damn thing I can do about it. It bothers me. So I go on my own, create a small world to live within, keep shifting to the higher awareness, make sure I don't have any of my own personal things to resolve, and then you would have enlightenment. However, what's happening today, we're aware of things that are happening, that are bad things happening, that you can't resolve. Now you wake up at night. What do I wake up at night thinking about American politics? And guess what? There's not a damn thing I can do about it. Not a fucking thing I can do about it. I mean, I can vote, that's it. But this is a machine that isn't going the direction, either side is not going the direction I would go. We're spreading out, we're getting too crazy. We're not acknowledging evolution. The very process that made it so that we now have grocery stores and cars to drive is the same process that is we're going to overshoot. Everybody still wants I, me, more, food. I need more food, I need more food, I need more stuff, I need more. Yeah, and then there's people without that don't have anything, that are just destitute. Those are normal things, though, to want things. If you could sit there, I mean, I want stuff. We want things. Think about living on the savannah. You want stuff. But what are you going to want? You're wanting food, you're wanting water, you're wanting safety. Desire is very strong. And you always, it's like, I need more food, I need more food. There's never enough. Now that there's plenty, we're still going, I need more food, without going, okay, stop. We evolved to be that way, but to think that way, but not to physically get it all the time. I might want food all day long, but I didn't eat it all day long. Today, you want it all day long, we eat it all day long. There's things that are just, you look at and go, yeah, these are evolutionary processes. We're not understanding our brains. You got to fast this to the world. Heal yourself and live your best life. Okay, you know what? I'm going to end this video. What I want to do is, I would like to do one on how psychic are you? You know, the things that I have had happen and the things that you've had happen. And there's other people that have had things happen. I'd like to maybe put out, maybe have people put down below give me an example of something that happened to you. Mine was a clairvoyant. I've had a lot of things, but the one I would use is my clairvoyant experience as a 9-year-old when I heard in my head very strongly, Larry's dead. Larry was my brother. And it was like, whew, yeah, it shook me. It was impactful. But instantly I shook it off saying, boy, that's crazy. I don't even know where that came from. And then a few minutes later, I found my brother in the woods. He had taken his life. So what makes that happen? How do things like that happen? How do your experiences happen where you know about something before it happens, just before it happens? Same sort of thing, these clairvoyant things. What's going on? If that's natural, how's it happening? Anyway, all right. Stefan, thanks for the question there. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't think it's possible to sit in a state of bliss. That would have to be drug induced somehow. Or here's the other way. Ignorance. Guess what? You can't get there. I can't get there. We cannot get bliss through ignorance. That is not ours. You go look at videos on Schopenhauer and many philosophers of the past that talk about this idea that highly intelligent people are not happy. We get caught up in, you see things that other people don't. Ignorance is bliss. That means non-ignorance is hell. Let's pull something up from the Bible here. Ecclesiastes. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king of Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, say the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. When we get down here, I want to read this. I, the preacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. What does this say? I am bound to seek the truth concerning all things that are done on this planet. This sore travail hath God. What the hell kind of life do we have that God gave us to be exercised with? I have seen the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity, vexation of spirit. I've seen my life experience, and behold, it is vanity and vexation of spirit. I've not stayed connected. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I communed with mine heart, mine own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and I have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Right there, we've got a special brain type. I've been given more wisdom than all they that have been given before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. Giving your heart to know wisdom is utilizing your emotions to grasp what's going on inside of your memories. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. We are a pattern. Okay. This has been going on forever, and it keeps getting rediscovered. People realize that it's happening, but it's only people that get to this point. And that's why it stays in the realm of I don't get it. I go to channels where people are doing, people that have degrees in mythology and things like that can't see the patterns. They've gone to school and study this stuff in colleges, paid for degrees. You don't need to do that. You can study it at home and learn what the school doesn't teach. You have to cover a lot of things, but really there's a certain something in a brain that makes a person do it, that seeks that stuff out and understands it, that learns to turn it inward. But as far as, this video, right, I wandered all over right there, didn't I? It's a pretty informal video. So brain type, you're going to be a highly introverted. You know what? Let me read something from the Buddha here. I apologize. This fits too. This is verse 84 from Buddha's Dhammapada. If whether for his own sake or for the sake of others, a man wishes neither for a son, nor for wealth, nor for lordship, and if he does not wish for his own success by unfair means, then he is good, wise, and virtuous. All right, that's just one. You can find verses like that in other places between Buddha and Lao Tzu that sound kind of plain language, and you look at that and go, I don't need to become that. I am already like that. That's a personality thing. That's not something you strive to be. That's something you look at and go, I am that. The person who is the person seeks solitude. The seeker seeks solitude and knows to. I'm paraphrasing here. There's the introvert right there. Here, check out Jeremiah, verse 5. Before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. Before you came out, I sanctified you. Yeah, what is that? There's an isolation going on that's nested all over the place. You find bits and pieces here and there that really points to there being an individual that is. This is for us to discover, remember. This is not about prophets in the world that are leading people and going to God and all that kind of stuff. This is, I'm the individual that turns inward and leads my own self to the God that is the connection that I have with God upstairs, and that everybody must turn inward to do that. So in their understanding, a prophet is some sort of a special high-level individual that is like this untouchable master, like a guru or a Buddha or something like that, but in a religious sense. And they've elevated that person above themselves. But when you interpret the material, you realize, I am the prophet. But I am not the prophet as they define it. The prophet, once you interpret it, is this is the INFP or INFJ that has had other filtration experiences in life that leads them to turn inward. Just because you have that personality type doesn't mean you're a called person. You have to go through things. I don't know I really don't know. I haven't been able to study this with other people. I don't have a very big sample pool on this stuff right here. But yeah, so you have to be careful because, the idea that somebody thinks they're a prophet, you have to listen to them and understand what that means. Most people that say they're a prophet are somebody that thinks they're I was sent here. I'm this, I'm that, I'm something special. No, you're freaking not. No, you're not. The prophet is not that. What the prophet is the person who turns inward and says, okay, I'm going to lead my pathway to the God up there. That's it. You become the called person. But everybody turns outward. Many are called, and the roads outward leading to destruction are many. Only a few will enter the narrow gate and enter in. This stuff has to be interpreted. They believe in Jesus and go, okay, I've entered the narrow gate. No, they're standing outside the narrow gate. Not until you interact with the material. And if you're a Christian, I think that it will not happen. I don't think it's possible to be a Christian and to interact with Jesus material. The reason is God represents your higher awareness. Jesus represents your consciousness before enlightenment, and Christ represents your consciousness after enlightenment. What Christian's going to do that? You cannot do that and be a Christian. They're going to carry it. They're not going to interact with it. It's going to be treated as if it's historical. And that's what they need to live life because of their manner of fear. And anyway, okay. All right. I wanted to say that. That's a tough question, and I usually don't get into this kind of philosophical areas, I guess. Maybe I thread a little bit in as I go. I try to mix my story with it, but I kind of stick with the interpretation, hoping other people will go, hey, I want to, I know that it has to be something that people do on their own. So, yeah, I don't know. At what point do you do something different? I'm stuck right here. Anyway, Stefan, thanks. Talk to you later. Everybody else, hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.